For the Ted Lasso fan in your life, what could be more thrilling than to open a little pink box filled with homemade shortbread? To make it, place 2 sticks of softened butter in a large bowl. If your butter isn't quite soft enough, melt 2 tablespoons of it, then pour it over the rest. Stir until the butter is the texture of mayonnaise, then add 1 teaspoon of kosher salt and stir again. Add 1½ teaspoons vanilla and 2/3 cup sugar and stir again. Finally, add 2 cups of flour and stir just until the flour is absorbed. Press the mixture into a parchment-lined 8 or 9-inch baking pan. Transfer it to a 325-degree oven and bake for 35 minutes. Sprinkle 2 tablespoons of sugar over the top and let cool for 30 minutes. Cut the shortbread into bars while it's still warm, then let cool completely in its pan. And that's it. I find this shortbread irresistible. It's buttery and perfectly sweet and salty. I sell these boxes on my site. 10 boxes per package for $20. Shipping is free. I hope you love them. Bye. If you've never made Ina Garten's vodka sauce, I think this is the perfect weekend to try. It calls for cooking tomatoes and onions in the oven, and it's so delicious. To make it, saute 2½ cups of sliced onions and 3 sliced cloves of garlic in a 1/4 cup of olive oil for 5 minutes. Add a 1/4 teaspoon crushed red pepper flakes and a cup of vodka. Cook until the vodka is reduced by half, then add 2 28-ounce cans of tomatoes. Snip the tomatoes, then add 2 teaspoons kosher salt and pepper to taste. Cover the pan, then transfer to a 375-degree oven for 1½ hours. Puree the tomatoes with a handful of basil, then return to the skillet and add a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Taste and adjust with salt and pepper to taste. Serve the sauce with your favorite pasta with lots of Parmesan and fresh cracked pepper to taste. And that's it. There are certainly faster ways to make vodka sauce, but there is something about the way the flavors here concentrate and sweeten in the oven that make this one particularly good. I hope you love it. Bye! If you've never made Ina Garten's vodka sauce, I think this is... Sometimes dinner needs to come from a box, or a can, or a jar, or a tin. Or if you're making the new basics pasta puttanesca, it will come from all of the... I recently subbed in chickpeas for the chicken, and my favorite... For so long, I struggled to get my Detroit-style pizzas right. I couldn't get the dough to cook before the toppings burnt, and I couldn't get a nice frico crust. I recently learned a few tips that have dramatically helped. First, make sure your dough proofs sufficiently in its pan before stretching it. This may take 4 to 6 hours. Next, par bake your dough. I find 8 minutes at 500 degrees to be perfect. Let the dough and the pan cool for 20 minutes before proceeding. For a tall, lacy frico crust, use pre-shredded cheese around the perimeter. I'm using a mix of mozzarella and cheddar. For the center, use hand-grated, whole milk, low-moisture mozzarella. Top as you wish, then bake for 10 minutes more at 475. Let the pizza cool for 5 minutes in the pan before releasing it from the sides and transferring it to a cutting board. I learned these tips from @RealCleverFood and @JimmyHankPizza, who are very generous with their knowledge. Find more details in the comments. Bye! For so long, I struggled to get my Detroit-style pizzas right. I couldn't